Well, the joy of the holidays can also take a toll on your health if you are not careful. So think about it. All the parties and the food and the drinks and the stress that can come along with it can be somewhat of a burden. So Christine Stirparo from Pacific Medical Centers is here to help us carve out a plan to help us keep our health on track this holiday season. Thank you for being here.
Sure.
Good timing, right?
Yes,
a couple days away from, or a couple weeks from Christmas. What is the biggest holiday pitfall when it comes to our health?
So I would say the biggest pitfall is disrupting our eating patterns during the holiday activities. So what I mean by that is, like, let's say that you have an event that's coming up, you have a holiday party one night. You might think to yourself that morning, well, I have this event later tonight. I know there's going to be a lot of delicious food, so I'm not going to eat that much today during the day because I want to make sure I have a lot of space available to eat all the delicious food. And so while in theory that might work, you might be able to balance your intake so that you get about the same amount of food each day. What usually ends up happening is we show up to these events and we're starving because we haven't had a lot of food that day. We also might have a little voice in our head saying, like, go ahead, you can eat. You haven't eaten all day. Go for it.
Right.
And so what ends up happening is we usually overindulge and we end up eating way more food than we would have if we had just had our normal meals throughout the day.
Okay, plus if you hadn't had anything to eat all day and you have a drink or two, then that goes right to your head.
Definitely.
Which is entertaining but not fun for anybody in the end.
Yes.
Let's talk about exercise a little bit. When is the best time to exercise as we go through the holidays, fit that in to keep our metabolism going through all the holiday parties?
So what I like to tell people is the best time to exercise is whenever you have time to exercise. So basically, whenever you can fit it in, it's going to make a difference. The time within a specific day doesn't really have that much of an impact, but it's pretty much all the movement that you can do throughout the day, or really any movement you can do throughout the day, is going to have an impact on your health and metabolism.
Okay, so just try to fit it in whenever you can.
Yeah, whenever you can squeeze it in.
Some fresh air. So going into the holidays, I mean, you're a dietitian, nutritionist. What is your advice to people to kind of get through these next few weeks? Because I think it's challenging for everybody. We want to have fun, but we do tend to overindulge.
Yes. So what I like to tell people is to think about what's really important to them. So you want to ask yourself, why do I want to eat healthy during the holiday season? And you want to be able to answer that question. So it might be like, you might have a specific fitness goal. So maybe like you want to run a marathon, or you want to complete an Ironman. Or maybe you just have a general health goal where you just want to feel comfortable in your clothing. Or maybe you don't want to feel so winded when you walk up the stairs. So it's really helpful to be able to articulate exactly what is important to you, because then when you're presented with some food options, you're able to make choices that align with those health goals that you have.
Okay, so I'm not going to have that extra piece of whatever because I'm running tomorrow to train for my marathon.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, I like that because a lot of people will just, once they've kind of screwed up on their health plan, they'll just throw it out the window for the rest of the year. It's, January 1, I'll start over.
Yes.
Not an ideal thing to do.
Yeah, and that also does give you some freedom too, because you can think, like when you have a food in front of you, you can think, well, this food might not exactly align with my health goal, but all the food that I've eaten today already has, and so it's okay if I eat this food, and then you might not feel so guilty after the fact.
Right. The point is to have fun. Keep those health goals out in front of us. Christine, great information. Thank you for being here. Happy holidays to you.
Thank you. You too.
And for more of our Healthy Living segments, you can go to Q13fox.com/healthyliving.
All right, Marty, thanks. Well, making sure